Welcome, this is All Minus One Quick Shots. Folks, today I want to posit the question, who controls your narrative, your personal worldview? Understand that we all live in a narrative. Human beings structure ourselves in narrative worlds. We have a story about ourselves, about other people we meet. We enjoy stories on the screen, the big screen that is, on the TV screen or the computer screen. We enjoy storytelling. We read books. We have oral traditions. All of this is because we live in a world based on narrative. It is how we understand our world. And so I ask you, who is in control of your narrative? Is it the mainstream media? Is it Hollywood? Is it your entertainment? Is it the government itself? Or does the personal narrative which you subscribe to, does that come from the people, the populace, or maybe your state directly? Or are you constructing your narrative based on the free flow of information? Are you basing it off of the truth? You see, there is a scripture where Christ says that you should seek the truth, and the truth will set you free. That was a very powerful and very specific narrative. It was keep looking, keep asking, keep seeking for you to find what is true. And if you do not do that, if you take the advice in the word of any organization, if you would, any institution, your professor, your college, the mainstream media, Hollywood, the government, whatever it may be, if that is all you base the narrative of your life on what is going around in the world and how you should operate in it, then I posit this: are you not a slave? Now, I believe that you are a slave one way or another to something or another, as a philosophical point. But I would suggest that you become a slave to the truth. I, having Christian beliefs, wish to be a slave to the truth. It means that if I come across information that changes my worldview, my personal narrative, that I must accept that and move on. That I must change my fundamental belief systems in order to be true to myself and to the rest of the world. There is a speech, I believe, from Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who talks about his time in the Gulag. Solzhenitsyn wrote the Gulag Archipelago, if you are not aware. And he kind of reverse engineers how Russia got to where it was, how the Soviet states became what they were, and how the evils of that empire took over the people. And one of the things that he said is that men had forgotten God. But the other very important thing that he would say is that everyone participated in the lie. Now, I know many of you think you are telling yourself the truth. Many of you think you are thinking objectively, but you are not unless you're trying to disprove the lies that come out of media, academia, Hollywood, out of the government, from your neighbor, from your state and local authorities. You have to keep pushing. Does this make you a popular person? No, by no means will it ever. People do not like the truth. They like the lie. This is something you have to understand about human nature. But I'm asking you, what are you really a slave to? Are you a slave to what other people think, to the opinions of other folks, to the information they give that may or may not be true? Because I'm not saying that those institutions don't have truth within them. I'm saying that you should not be a slave to their opinions. I'm saying that you should think beyond that and go beyond that. That you should dig down deeply and you should be prepared to give an answer for what you believe in, as was also posited by the apostles in the Bible, Peter specifically, that you should be able to say why you believe and what you believe. And on the other side of that as well, you need to be able to listen. Listen to ideas that seem absurd to you, things that don't seem to be in the norm. You need to listen. Now, does it mean that the person you're talking to is truthful or true? No. Does it mean that you have to agree with people who have some idea that you don't fully comprehend or understand or haven't heard of? No. It means you need to continue to seek the truth on your own. And so once again, I ask you, who controls your narrative? Do you? Do you see the world through objective eyes? Do you make a picture of the world, a drawing, if you would, based on how you observe the world? See, when I was young, I was an artist growing up. I drew, and often you have to draw, and in classes, you have to draw still life. And that is based on observation. Later on, as an artist, you learn to draw or paint the human figure. And again, you use a model for that. You are trying to make something that you are observing in real life onto a piece of paper or a canvas or whatever other medium. You are trying to use that in that thing you are observing and giving an accurate representation. Now, does that mean you cannot stylize it or make it, artistic, if you would? No, because that is part of you. That is part of your very essence. That is one of the interesting and beautiful things of art and about art and creating things and being artistic. But what you do want to do is you want to give an accurate representation of such a thing. Even the Impressionist gave accurate representations, even though their art up close just appears to be a bunch of dots. So understand this. This is how you should observe the world. You shouldn't be looking at a ball and drawing a square, or a pyramid drawing a triangle. And this is how your pursuit of truth should go. You should literally observe the world blankly for what it is, take what is useful, throw out what is not, and keep digging and constantly question and ask yourself, am I on the right path? And that's about it, folks. With all that, this has been all -1 quick shots. And I wish you all well.